The next electronic devices problem is this one. In the last class, we discussed 4 problems. The next one is this one. Under high electric field in a semiconductor with increasing electric field, this is a condition is there. So it depends on which one that they are asking. This is the question. Okay. For that case, one of the graph is there. So if you know this graph means based on this, mostly you can attend the questions. So the graph is this one is drawing between mobility and electric field. Okay, x-axis is electric field, y-axis is mobility is there. So here first graph, the waveform is first initially while increasing the electric field, the mobility is in constant, and then again if you are increasing electric field, then the mobility going down, as well as again increasing electric field, again the mobility is going down. So further increasing the electric field, the mobility is decreasing. Initially it is in constant. This is the concept we are having. This one is a drawing between electric field and mobility. Similarly, another one concept is there. That concept is this one, that is drawing the graph between electric field and drift velocity Vd. For this case also, increasing the electric field E during the time, the velocity, drift velocity also increases. So linear, both are directly proportional. Initially, both are increasing. After a particular duration, again further if you are increasing the electric field, then the corresponding drift velocity is constant we are getting. That is, it is making a constant value of a drift velocity. So this is the two concept we are having. So based on this, we are having the question in the options. The conditions, the mobility of a charge carrier decreases. Okay, so our condition is under high electric field. So electric field is high during the time. Mobility is what status is decreasing, or what that they are asking, and then mobility of the carrier increases. After that, velocity of the charge carrier saturates. Velocity of the, that is a drift velocity of the charge carrier saturates, and then velocity of the charge carrier increases. These are the things are there. So here what are the options will be, so two chances are there. One is electric field with the mobility, another one is electric field with the drift velocity. First, electric field with the mobility. So at a high voltage, high, if you are applying the high, under high electric field, so electric field is very high during that time, the mobility is what happened. First graph, in the first graph, 10 to the power 7 like that, increasing the electric field, the corresponding mobility decreases. So the first concept is option A, increasing, that is under high electric field, mobility of a charge carrier decreases. Option A is correct. Another one case is also there. What about the velocity, drift velocity case? That is the second graph. So second graph is increasing the under high electric voltage. Okay, so under high electric voltage, that is increasing the electric voltage, the drift velocity, what happens? So high electric field means this one, the concept is what happened, constant, it's making a saturation. Okay, so answer is C. So answer, the velocity of a charge carrier saturates. So our options A and C both are correct. Okay, so this is the concept we are getting clear. So this is one problem. After that, based on this concept thoroughly we have to know. Based on this, they are asking a problem, that is electric field with the mobility, electric field with the drift velocity concept we have to know. Clear. The next problem, the drift velocity of electrons in silicon. So this is actually based on the previous concept, drift velocity of a electron in silicon. What happened? Drift velocity of electron in silicon. So it is a proportional to which one? Drift velocity, that corresponding cases they are asking. Drift velocity with the electric field, that previous graph. This is second graph, that one they are asking. It's proportional to electric field for all the values of electric field. So this is one thing is there. Is independent of electric field is there. increases at low values of electric field and decreases at high values of electric field exhibiting negative differential resistance. That is also not correct. Increases linearly with the electric field at low values of electric field and gradually saturates at a high, that is a higher values of electric field. This one is correct, right? That is the same thing. Initially increases gradually while increasing the electric field. Drift velocity also gradually increases, and then under a high electric field this one saturates, that is drift velocity saturates. That is this one gradually saturates. So option D is a correct option. So the question, the second question is also, that is sixth question is also fully related to the previous graph. So one of the important question we are having. Okay, the next question: a silicon sample is uniformly doped with 10 to the power 16 phosphorus atom per centimeter cube and 2 into 10 to the power 16 boron atom per centimeter cube. Like that is there. If all the dopants are fully ionized, so the condition is fully ionized, then the material is what material? So this is a fully ionized. So the material is what material? So silicon is doped with phosphorus. So phosphorus means it is what type? Donor or acceptor? Phosphorus is a acceptor. Sorry, phosphorus is a donor. Boron is a acceptor. That already you know. Okay. So phosphorus is donor means that concentration, donor concentration Nd equal to 10 to the power 16, that we are considering. And then acceptor concentration is also there. So donor concentration, phosphorus is a donor, boron is acceptor. Donor concentration 10 to the power 16, 2 into 10 to acceptor concentration 2 into 10 to the power 16 is there. Here the condition is fully ionized. So fully ionized condition is there. So here Na acceptor is greater value is there. Na is greater than Nd because 2 into 10 to the power 16 is greater value. So Na is greater than that of Nd. Hence, it is a p-type material. The material is a semiconductor material, is a p-type material, that we can conclude. Therefore, majority carrier will be holes and minority carrier will be electrons. Concentration of holes will be equal to effective concentration of acceptor atom. Okay, so this is the condition we are having. That is a fully ionized. Fully ionized means concentration of a hole will be equal to effective concentration of acceptor. So effective concentration of acceptor formula already in the last class problems we discussed. The formula for this one is Na of effective equal to Na minus Nd. So this will be equal to, so simply we are subtracting that two, that is boron and phosphorus concentration, simply we are subtracting. That is the boron concentration is 2 into 10 to the power 16 minus 10 to the power 16. So answer is 1 into 10 to the power 16, we will get it. Here 2 times is there, here 1 time is there. So only 1 time alone here we are getting. Therefore, concentration of a whole is P is equal to N, and that is the effective concentration is equal to 10 to the power 16 is there. So this one is the fully ionized condition state. Fully ionized means during that time whole concentration must be equal to effective concentration of acceptor. Clear? So the answer is effective concentration of a whole is equal to 10 to the power 16. So answer is second answer, 10 to the power 16. P type material is what material? We can conclude that the material is P type material. So that corresponding effective concentration of a whole is 10 to the power 16. So this is a formula we should know. This formula you should know. Okay. So this is one of the important question is there. The next question: a semiconductor is irradiated with light such that carriers are uniformly generated throughout its volume. The semiconductor is N-type with Nd equal to donor concentration. Nd equal to 10 to the power 19 per centimeter cube is there. If the excess electron concentration is the steady state is del N. Del N is given. Del N equal to 10 to the power 15 per centimeter cube is there. And if tau P equal to 10 microsecond is there. Then the minority carrier lifetime. Minority carrier lifetime is the generation rate, that is tau p equal to 10 microsecond. That meaning is minority carrier lifetime. The generation rate due to irradiation, that they are asking. The generation rate due to irradiation they are asking. So first we are writing the given data. So the given data are irradiation is a process of exposing radiation. So the given data irradiation, what is irradiation, that we are considering. Irradiation is the process of exposing radiation. And then electron concentration is given. So that is a donor concentration is given, that is Nd equal to is there. After that excess electron concentration. So excess electron concentration means del n. Del n equal to 10 to the power 15 is there. Minority carrier lifetime is there. Here they are asking the generation rate. Okay, so generation rate equal to del n divided by tau 1 equal to del p divided by tau p. Here this is irradiation, right? So illumination of a light condition we are considering. So del n equal to del p, both are equal means then only we are getting the irradiation. So del n is equal to del p. So here g is equal to what we can consider, del n divided by tau p, also we can consider tau n, also we can consider. Here we are having tau p. So here in del n equal to del p is a condition is there, because of that reason del n divided by tau p we are considering, because this both are equal. So g is equal to del n divided by tau p also we can consider, because both are equal, right? So g is equal to del n divided by tau p we are considering. So 10 to the power 15 del n is given in problem, tau p is also there. So generation rate directly we are getting. So our answer is A answer. 10 to the power 20 electron hole pairs per centimeter cube per second. So that is the answer we are getting. Next question, this one. The probability that an electron in a metal occupies the Fermi level at any temperature greater than 0 degree. So greater than 0 degree Kelvin. For metal they are asking the Fermi level. So for metal means what about the Fermi level? For metal case conduction band and valence band both overlaps. Okay. For metal the conduction band and valence band both are overlapped. So that is this one. So here what will happen? The probability that an electron in an metal occupies the Fermi level equal to 1. This is the Fermi level equal to 1 constant. That is, the concept is already in the theory itself we discussed. In the theory itself for metal the conduction band and valence band both are overlapped. For that case the Fermi level is equal to 1. In the theory concept itself we discussed. So that is the thing here also we are having. Okay, so the option is B option. Answer is 1. Some key points are there. For insulator, what about this Fermi level? For semiconductor, what about the Fermi level? For insulator, the Fermi level is equal to 0. For semiconductor, this will be equal to 0.5. Similarly, for the conductor, the Fermi level is equal to 1. So this is some key points we are having. Sometimes they may ask the Fermi level of normal semiconductor. Similarly, for the insulator also they may ask. For that case, we have to know. Okay. Then next one is in a p-type silicon sample, the whole concentration is 2.25 into 10 to the power 15 per centimeter cube. If the intrinsic carrier concentration is 1.5 into 10 to the power 10 per centimeter cube, the electron concentration they are asking. This question is actually a very easy question. The concept is mass action law concept. Okay, the mass action law formula already we know. N into P is equal to Ni squared. First we are considering all the given data. So the given data, type of material is a p-type material, whole concentration is there, electron intrinsic concentration is there, electron concentration that is a minority concentration is electron concentration they are asking. So minority concentration or electron concentration n is equal to ni square divided by p. So the answer is there. So answer from this we are considering getting the answer is C option. We are getting 10 to the power of 5 per centimeter cube. This one is the answer we are getting. Okay. The next problem. So mass action law is one of the repeated question, mostly based on mass action law they are asking one question. Next problem. A small concentration of a minority carrier is injected into a homogeneous semiconductor crystal at one point. An electric field of 10 volt per centimeter is applied across the crystal, and this moves the minority carriers by a distance of 1 centimeter in 20 microseconds. The mobility will be, so they are asking the mobility mu mobility they are asking. First the given data we are writing. The given data are electric field is there, distance is there, time is there. Mobility they are asking. So relation between mobility and velocity is Vd equal to mu into E is there. So E is given in problem. We want to find the mu. To find mu, first we have to know the velocity. To find the drift velocity, we can use the normal velocity formula. Normal velocity equal to distance by time period. This is basic formula we are having. That same formula here we are considering. Distance is equal to 1 centimeter. In terms of centimeter is there. So answer also in terms of same centimeter we are going to consider. So 1 alone we are writing, divided by time period is 20 microseconds. So 20 into 10 to the power minus 6 microsecond. Answer is equal to 50,000 centimeter per second is there. So Vd equal to that is mu into electric field formula is there. Mu is mobility into electric field is given in problem itself. Now mu equal to Vd by E. So Vd just now we have calculated. E answer is given in problem itself. So answer is equal to 5,000 is there. So option is C option, 5,000 answer we are getting in terms of centimeter we are getting. The next problem. The intrinsic carrier density at 300 Kelvin is 1.5 into 10 to the power 10 per centimeter cube in silicon. For n-type silicon doped to 2.25 into 10 to the power 15 atom per centimeter cube, the equilibrium electron and hole densities are. So under equilibrium condition, so equilibrium condition is there. So equilibrium condition means you can blankly consider the formula. The formula is mass action law formula. Mass action law formula n into p equal to ni square. What they are asking, minority carrier concentration. Okay, so here intrinsic carrier density is there, and then n-type silicon is there. So n-type silicon is there. So n-type material is there. So p-type concentration that is a p-type whole concentration they are asking. First we are writing the given data. Ni is given, intrinsic carrier concentration is given, that is the density is there. And then concentration of electron, that is donor concentration, Nd is also there. So small n equal to Nd, that we can consider, because here itself they have given n-type silicon doped. So silicon doped atom means it is a donor atom. So donor is equal to small n equal to Nd. 2.25 into 10 to the power 15 that we are considering. So under equilibrium condition is given. So we can consider the mass action law. So mass action law Np equal to Ni square. So and here what we have want to find minority carrier concentration, that is whole concentration they are asking. So P is equal to Ni square divided by N. Simply everything are given in problem itself. Simply we are substituting and getting the answer. So our option is C option. N is given in problem itself. P just now we found it. So that answer we are getting. Okay. So mass action law is one of the repeated gate problem. Mostly 95% they are asking one problem from this mass action law. Mass action law, drift velocity, and then diffusion velocity, resistivity, conductivity, all these everythings are basic things. And then Fermi level calculation, all these everything are repeatedly they are asking. Mostly they are asking problems from this. Okay, then next question. An N-type silicon bar 0.1 centimeter long and 100 micrometer squared in cross-sectional area has a majority carrier concentration of 5 into 10 to the power 20 per meter cube, and the carrier mobility is 0.13 meter square divided by volt seconds at 300 degree Kelvin. If the charge of an electron is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb, then the resistivity of the bar is. So they are asking the resistivity. So resistivity, conductivity, mobility. Okay, so all this everything is a repeated question we are having. So first we are writing the given data. So given data, the silicon bar is N-type material they have given, and then majority carrier concentration n is equal to, so n type material n is equal to values given in problem. Length of the bar length is there, 0.1 centimeter is there. In terms of a meter we are writing, so 10 to the power minus 3 meter, like that also we can write. That is a 0.1 into 10 to the power minus 2, you will get it. That is centimeter. Centimeter means into 10 to the power minus 2. So what we are writing, 0.1 into 10 to the power minus 2 equal to 10 to the power minus 3 we can write. That is 10 to the power minus 3 meter. After that mobility is also given in problem itself. Then cross sectional area. So cross sectional area is also given in problem itself. All this everything we are writing. And then electronic charge Q value already we know. Resistivity formula. Okay, resistivity formula rho equal to 1 by sigma. So sigma answer we need it to find the resistivity. So sigma equal to another one formula nq into mu n. This is another one formula we are having. Okay, normal resistance is equal to, this is a resistivity rho equal to 1 by sigma equal to nq mu n. This is sigma value, that is a rho value we are having. Resistance. Okay, so resistance, here they are asking the resistance of the bar, not resistivity. Resistivity means rho, but here they are asking the resistance. So resistance R equal to rho L divided by A. So rho equal to that formula we are having, 1 by nq mu n, that here we are substituting. So 1 by mu q, the 1 by q mu n into A, in numerator L is there. So all these everythings are available, all the answers simply we are substituting. Answer is equal to 10 to the power 6 we are getting. So that is option A. So resistivity formula thoroughly we have to know. Resistance formula, conductivity formula, and then mobility formula. Mobility with the electric field relation. Mobility, that corresponding relations, all this everything we should know. So this is one of the important class. The next problem. The electron concentration in a sample of uniformly doped N-type silicon at 300 degree Kelvin varies linearly from 10 to the power 17 per centimeter cube at x equal to 0 to 6 into 10 to the power 16 per centimeter cube at x equal to 2 micrometer is there. Assume a situation, that is one of the situation, that is that electrons are supplied to keep this concentration gradient constant with the time. Okay, so this is the condition they have given, that is concentration gradient is constant with the time that they are telling. After that, if electronic charge is, that is a charge of electron q is equal to given, and then a diffusion constant dn is also given. The current density in the silicon, if no electric field, that is no electric field present, that is absence of electric field, during that time what will be the current density, that they are asking. Okay, so uniformly doped n type silicon, that is given, and then diffusion constant dn is there, and then electronic charge q is also there. Now electric field is 0. During the absence of electric field, what will be the corresponding current density that they are asking. Now in a bar, distance x is equal to 0, then the corresponding electron concentration n1 is equal to 10 to the power 17 is given in problem itself. After that, x distance is equal to 2 micrometer. If the distance is equal to 2 micrometer, during that time the corresponding concentration, that is n type material concentration is n2, that is also given. Now concentration gradient, they are considering the concentration gradient. dN by dx is required. To solve the current density, we need dN by dx. So dN by dx is equal to formula n2 minus n1 divided by x2 minus x1. Formula is there. Simply, yeah, everything we are substituting. So we are getting the dN by dx. So to find the current density, we need dN by dx. So for that we found the dN by dx. Now current density, total current density is equal to formula Jn of drift current density plus Jn of diffusion current density. Both simply we are adding. Here they said the absence of electric field. So drift current density is 0. Okay, so because E equal to 0, E equal to 0 means first term is 0. Second term alone we have to consider. So second term answer is minus 2. That value we found it here from the previous equation. That answer here we are substituting minus 2 into 10 to the power 20 we are substituting. So answer is equal to 1000 to 120. So that answer we are getting. So option is D option we are getting. D option minus 1120 ampere per centimeter square. This is one of the problem. This table is a very important table. For all the cases, it will be very useful. Okay, that is the GATE student. They should know about this already. Know about this, but anyway, you should yeah, whatever is there, that corresponding thing thoroughly you have to know. For that, I'm telling. Okay, the N-type silicon is obtained by doping silicon with which one? So N-type with the donor atom we have to dope it, right? So here donor atom is, which one is a donor atom? That alone we have to consider for N-type material. So N-type semiconductor is obtained by doping the pentavalent atoms. So here in the given data, in the given options, the uh, pentavalent atom is, that is donor atom is phosphorus is there. So phosphorus is the correct option. So option is D option is correct. This table, okay. So what is this table means? This table donor, that are N-type impurities. What are the N-type impurities are there? What are the P-type impurities are there? That one thoroughly we have to know. So N-type impurities are nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony, bismuth. These everything are donor impurity. That is donor atoms. That is N-type impurities. Similarly, P-type impurities. P-type impurities are boron, aluminium, gallium, indium, and thallium. So these everything are acceptor atoms. So that is a p-type impurities. For all the cases in so many problems, mostly they will ask regarding this. That is, if you add the boron means the material becomes what material? P-type material. If you add indium, okay, if you add indium with the n-type, if you add n-type, that is if you need the p-type material means what you have to add. In the option they may give the indium. So indium is there means that is a p-type material, that thoroughly you have to know. For that I'm telling. Okay, so these are the important concept we are having.